In theaters now is the new sci-fi thriller Elevation, starring Anthony Mackie, Morena Baccarin, and Maddie, Hasson, and directed by Nolfi. And I really like this. It's nothing original, but it was really cool. Concept goes a little something like this. Some creatures have invaded the world and wiped out most of the population, 90 something percent of the population, but they can't exist above a certain elevation. So humanity has found that out, and these little communities have basically gone above the line of demarcation, above the death line, as it were, and they're surviving and they're getting by. Unfortunately, Anthony Mackie has a son who has a medical condition, who needs a certain like air filter to sleep at night, and he's about to run out, so they have to go down below that line. And it is a physical line that people have made with posts and white rocks. They have to go down below this physical line in order to get more supplies. This takes place in Colorado, so I think they're going to Boulder, I think it was. They have to go down below the line to go to a hospital to fetch some stuff, and they have to plot a course where they are going below the line as little as possible, because if these creatures sense you, I guess it's the carbon dioxide, if they sense your breath or motion or whatever, they're on you in like stink on a bug, and you're gone, because they're these big, evil, crazy, scary creatures. So it's a very simple concept. It is a concept that is not unlike A Quiet Place or Bird Box or other things that we've seen recently, but it works. You know, I don't necessarily mind derivative if it holds my attention and entertains me, and this movie did. It's really cool. It's very tense. The creatures are interesting, and the locations are gorgeous. It's a nice big screen movie to watch because it's all set, you know, in the mountains, in the Rockies area. And Mackie is compelling. Baccarin is compelling as this woman who has a drinking problem and is guilt-racked because she was a scientist who was working on whatever she was working on at the time, but now she has taken that ability to be a scientist, biologist, genius that she is, and try to figure out a way to stop these beasts. You see her messing with a bullet. She keeps doing something with bullets. She has a hunk of like the armor that encrusts these creatures, and she's trying to find a way to pierce it and try to kill them. So she goes with them on this expedition to try to get back to her lab, to get back some things she needs to try to maybe crack the code on these creatures. And then Hasson is another woman who's part of the team, part of the group in this little village, who wants to, her attitude is, we're going to have to fight these things sooner or later, so we might as well do it now and see if we can figure out a way to beat them, or else we're all stuck in these little encampments up in the high elevation for the rest of our lives, and that's the end of humanity. So it's not post-apocalyptic, I guess you might call it that. It brings to mind a lot of things you've seen. Like I said, it brings to mind Quiet Place. It brings to mind Walking Dead to a degree. It brings to mind Tremors to a degree, and some other things like that. But it was really entertaining. I saw this at a matinee. This is a solid Saturday matinee movie. You know, if you want to go see a monster movie, it's not very long. This thing is like 91 minutes long. It's let me see if I can figure out what the rating was from the notes that you don't see off. It's rated R because there's some, I think it's mostly for profanity. I don't remember. I guess there's a little bit of gore in it. It's not really anything too egregious, but I thought this was really fun. It's nothing that probably people will remember down the road very far, and it's probably nothing that will, well, it could launch a franchise. And now that I think about it, the ending very clearly does set up something. And toward the end of the movie, there's a pretty huge twist that makes you question what you've been watching and what these things are, which I don't know if I like that personally. I think I would have been okay with what we thought they were up to that point, but I would be open to another chapter of this movie. It looks like the next chapter would certainly up the ante quite a bit, but it's a film that probably isn't getting a lot of play and nobody's talking about, but I thought it was a lot of fun as somebody who grew up watching Creature Double Feature and, you know, old monster movies and stuff. Elevation was fun. So in theaters now for the moment. If you watch this later streaming, Elevation.